of the center. I'd like to call on the Deputy Director Admin to take the opening address. Yes, on behalf of the Director. Okay.
The principal officers of the center, those present and those unavoidably absent, management staff of the center, other staff, and most importantly, our new students, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good morning to you all. It is with great pleasure that I warmly welcome you to the Distance Learning Center of Ahmadu Bello University Zaria. This marks an important milestone in your academic journey. And we are delighted to receive you as potential and future alumni of our great institution, Ahmadu Bello University Zaria. So you are welcome. Your admission into the Distance Learning Center of Ahmadu Bello University is a testament to your determination to pursue your career and other professional development. By choosing this path, you have demonstrated courage, ambition, and strong commitment to improving your future through knowledge and learning. The Ahmadu Bello University Distance Learning Center was established to expand access to quality university education, both undergraduate and postgraduate, for individuals who may not be able to participate.
Yeah, I'm not responsible for this.
Teaching method and the effective use of technology.
When I told them that this thing will not work,
their academic goals without compromising.
It's not up to now. We still have 500 and something.
Personal responsibilities.
I can't even share.
The vision of the center is to be a leading and innovative provider of open and distance learning, delivering high quality, flexible, and technology-driven education that produce graduates capable of contributing meaningfully to the society. In pursuit of this vision, our mission is to provide accessible and affordable education while maintaining the high academic standard for which Ahmadu Bello University Zaria is renowned. Ladies and gentlemen, this orientation program is organized to familiarize you with the academic structure of the center, the learning platforms that you'll be using, the regulations guiding your programs, and the support services available to assist you. I encourage you to take full advantage of this opportunity, ask questions where necessary, and ensure that you clearly understand the explanation of your own programs. Studying through distance learning requires discipline, dedication, and effective time management. While the center provides the resources, guidance, and academic support that you need, your success will ultimately depend on your commitment, perseverance, and willingness to remain focused on your goals. Let me assure you that the management and staff of the center remain committed to supporting you throughout your academic journey. We will continue to provide an enabling environment that allows you to learn, grow, and achieve academic excellence. As you begin this journey, I encourage you to approach your studies with determination, integrity, and the spirit of excellence. Remember, your degree is going to be in character and in learning. Once again, I warmly welcome you to Distance Learning Center and wish you rewarding productive, and successful academic excellence. Once again, you are welcome. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you very much, sir. Our students joining us virtually, we also recognize your presence. You are all welcome. We would like to take the presentation of the Secretary of the Center, and she's going to talk on the registration procedures and general student matters, which includes NYSC and JAMB regularization. Ma'am, you have the floor. The director, represented by the Deputy Director Admin, the Deputy Director Academic, Deputy Director Learner Support, the Internal Auditor, the Librarian, Deans of Faculty, Program Coordinators, Heads of Sections, and our able students, both present physically and online. I welcome you all to this orientation program. That's not. That's
Ya tun daga wancan tun daga yana cikin na dan buɗe
Okay, sorry for the interruption. Actually, this presentation is basically on the activities of the Distance Learning Center Secretary's Office. What we do from the beginning of your studies and at the end of your programs. Let me start by telling you that Distance Learning Center was established as a semi-autonomous institution or center within Ahmadu Bello University's area. The center is semi-autonomous in the sense that we do most of our activities within. Some of the things are done, but with the consent of the university. Why? Because
The certificate obtained in ABU is the same certificate that is approved by the University Senate of the University. So there are no distinctions in any way except on some administrative matters. Even though some of these administrative matters are being regulated by the university, but we are given the chance to carry out some of these things within the distance learning center. And the center has commenced operations in 2016 with only one program, that's the Master in Business Administration. Then later, we now have at least 21 programs from that 2016 to 2026. And it will interest you to note that all these programs are accredited by the National Universities Commission. We don't mount any program without being accredited. We carry out resource, visitation. We do everything that is supposed to be done before mounting program. So you have nothing to fear, thinking that I have started this program, what will be my future at the end? Unlike other distance learning and other universities, where some of them do offer some programs without being accredited. But for ABU distance learning, all the programs are accredited before any program is being mounted. Like now, we are interested or we are set to mount Hajj operations management, but we are at the point of resource visit. When they come, they will inspect our facilities before giving us the go-ahead to do the program. Admission in Distance Learning Center. How do we conduct our admission exercise in Distance Learning Center? It's not like any other institution or other distance learning centers, but in most cases, some distance learning or some universities do adopt the same method we do. This method is that we do admissions 3 times in a year. We do it in January, in May, and in September of every year. How do we do that? You don't need to have your JAMB score before you can be admitted into distance learning program. All you need to do is you purchase your form. Once you have the required qualification, that you have the required credit for such program, you will receive a notification that you have successfully purchased the form or you have your admission guaranteed on condition that what you have imputed is really what is real. Because if it is not, even if you have the admission, we do screening before you are given the admission letter. You receive notification because all of you here are students and you know what you pass through. Some of us will have the notification, but when they come for physical screening, they will be rejected because they have given us false information. I want to emphasize here, because we do have a lot of challenges and a lot of problems at the end of your programs. Which type of problem? Some of you will do all they could to place their ways into distance learning center. not thinking that at the end of it all, we still have to conduct final screening exercise. And from the forms, the admission, whatever, it is stated clearly that if at any point in time we realize that you gave us false information, you have your admission to be withdrawn. And I want to assure you that even if you graduate, during the last screening, and we found out that you have given us false information, then know that that certificate will not be issued to you. It means you have wasted your time, your resources, and whatever. That admission will be held. We have a lot of students whose statement of results is not given to them. Why? Because we realize that they have given us false information. So we want you to take note of this. How do we get this false information? Some of you, we know that we have private institutions around. That is the secondary school. You might go there, get your state SSCE result, private SSCE result, but we have to check. Even if you have somebody that assisted you to get this admission, at the end, he might not be the one to screen you. The screening process will have to come back to us to be specific to our office. That is the secretary's office. I have to verify, get it online. If it is not there, then the result is not yours. And for certificates of universities, for those going for master's degrees, if the certificate clearly presented statement of results, and we agreed that, okay, at the end of the exercise or before the exercise, you are expected to present your certificate and NYSC certificate. If you are unable to do that, then know that no matter the plea, that result will not be released to you because you have violated the rules of engagement. So please, we want you to take note of that. Most of the things, most of the problems we do have is because of lack of attending orientation. So if those, you might translate this to those that are not here. Tell them, whatever you have that is not straight, try and make it straight. The reason for orientation is for you to acquaint yourselves with the workings of the Distance Learning Center. Some of the things we do here are not the same as that of regular students. That's the physical classes. For those who attended other universities during your undergraduate, you will realize that some of these things, some of the things we do here are different, especially the mode of delivery, because we do use elements for that. But for physical, you have to see your teacher while he also listen to him while he delivers his lecture. And one thing we need to please advise you on, if you have any issue, because one of the major difficulties in online delivery is students escalating their problems to where those problems will be solved. Sometimes you might be calling a number continuously. That person might not be available to pick your call at that particular time. But as students, you insist, you can decide to call your lecturer, or your coordinator, or you call us, any of the principal officers. We are accessible anyway. But calling continuously is unethical. If you call once, twice, and if no response, the best approach is for what? For you to drop a message. Write a message on WhatsApp or text message. If you do that, if the person is free, he will surely respond to you. Otherwise, you will frustrate yourself for no reason. So please try and adopt this method. Sometimes you will call someone by 1 o'clock, 12:30, 10:30 in the night. Why do we expect someone to be working continuously? He has his own personal life. He needs to also rest. He has his family to attend to. So please put yourselves in our position, in our shoe. Will you be able to accommodate that? Because even if you call him at that particular time, he might not be able to respond to your queries because maybe what you want to do might be in the office. So it has to be next day. So please try and respect boundaries. We do ensure that our admissions are done according to university rules and regulations. Our office usually makes sure that the university rules in any situation are followed strictly. We process the admission letters. We do the screening for you. The registration, all of you here have already registered. You are our registered student already. So you know what we have passed through. As soon as you're done with the purchase of the form, like I said, a notification will be sent to you. In case you have any issue, you'll be notified that your admission will not be processed because you have deficiency in so, and so. So you don't need to bother anybody. But still, some people will insist that they must follow a different path for them to be admitted. Even if you do that, no matter what you give to anybody, that amount is gone. Because at the end of the day, you will not be able to achieve what you strive to achieve. So please, if you have deficiency this semester, try and rectify it. We may not even insist on you getting another form. That form can still be used to accommodate you when you rectify your issues. Maybe you have no English, you have no mathematics. Get them. Try and see what you can get, how you can get that. Then at the end of the day, you can still come back and refresh your processes and it will be accommodated. This form, once you fill them, you have some people to guide you because we have different centers across the country. We have center apart from the center in Zaria. We have in Abuja, we have in Gombe, we have in Kaduna, Kano, Lagos, Minna, and we also have in Asaba. So we have centers where they are within your vicinity. So if you can't be here in Zaria, you can quickly move to Abuja. Or maybe you are a resident of Zaria and you happen to be in Kaduna, you can still go to Kaduna and do your registration. Nobody is stopping you. Everything will be transferred back to Zaria. Your files, your everything will be in the center. Like I said, the processes of admission, you cannot be given your admission letter. You can only print your notification and proceed to those letters. It is when you are done with the screening processes that you will be given the real admission letter for you to continue the registration. You will have your NHIS form, your ID card form, undertaking forms. Like I told you, there are undertaking forms where each student supposed to fill. So in case you violate any of your rules, then we have every right to withdraw our admission because you have already taken that out as a student. So some of you will be, because I just had a case of somebody presenting fake certificate or certificate that is not acceptable to ABU, and he graduated. He came. His father or uncle came to us that this person graduated, and we refused to issue him his statement of result and certificate. I said yes. He will not be given because we screened him at the end of the program, and we found out that what he presented from the beginning was fake. He said, what if he decides to take you to court? I said, we are ready for that. Because we have every evidence to defend ourselves. Because we have given you this from the beginning, and we expect you to abide by our rules. Because we have rules of engagement. So you can't intimidate us with that. And whatever it is, we are ready to face that. Then you do the registration afterwards and pay the required fees. And in our office, all your records are kept. Like I said, from the beginning to the end, if you produce this, you cannot withdraw it because you already have it. So it is kept safely for so many reasons. We do it, we provide those records for NYSC exemption. We do it, we provide to Senate, maybe to NUC for any accreditation. We also process academic transcripts. So your academic transcripts are processed from the secretary's office to wherever you want them to be. And still on the issue of transcripts, some of you will be moving up and down, telling people that I've applied for this, but up to today I'm unable to get it. Know that transcripts are not supposed to be given to students unless if you ask for student copy. Whenever you want the transcript to be transmitted to, we do that within us. But if you realize that you have given us the transcript and the request to transcript, and it has not been sent to where you want the transcript to be sent, it means you have not provided an address where this transcript will be sent. So you don't expect you to just put the transcript and then give you by hand to translate. Because even within us, you know, if a student should take the transcript by hand, it means something must have happened along the line. Students can doctor what it is. That is why, not even in ABU, wherever you are sending transcript, they will tell you to send this transcript through your institution. Because if it is through me, for example, I have a lot of family members. I can doctor with computers these days. Nothing is not possible, and nothing is not impossible. So we do that, and then we handle verification of results. For example, if you doctor our result, maybe certificate, statement of results, you present it to your employers, they do send for verification, and we confirm whether the statement of result or the transcript related from the distance learning center or from the university in general. So you know what it means. If you do that, and at the end of the day, it is found out that what you presented was fake, then definitely you know you are going. So whatever you want to do, please try and be honest in all your dealings. Because we do, and we have why we are saying this, is because we have these testimonies. Some will present what is not real. Imagine somebody working in EFCC presenting a fake certificate. What do you think will happen to that? This certificate, and the unfortunate thing is, I was the verification officer even before I came here in the university. And they sent me certificate for verification. And the unfortunate thing, that person happened to be the verification officer of that CFCC. And when they came, he followed up. He was ready to part with anything he was ready to give. ABU has a name to protect. If you collect, let's say the person is ready to offer you 10 million naira. If you take that 10 million, you are gone. And with that 10 million naira, you okay for you for the rest of your life? No. So we have to be honest enough to say the truth. So we don't know what will happen at the end of the day. So I have a lot of those examples. Letters of introduction. People going outside the country, especially those that want to do Java, they do ask us to write letters of introduction. But we realize that lately we are having a lot of requests for that. Even if they don't need it for anything, they will be sending letters of introduction because we tell them that this is what we do. But I think we'll start charging an amount for that because so that you won't say, if the letter of introduction, you have to pay for it. So you should put it at the back of your mind. The request is getting too much. So we need to do something about that. Then the next is the compilation of graduate list. Your list, once you are graduated, we compile them and we take them to Senate so that you will be merged with those on campus. Because we don't treat you separate. If you are a distance learning student, we do consider you as a normal student of the university. The certificate and everything is signed by the VC and the registrar. Because the director here is a representative of the vice chancellor. Myself here, I'm the representative of the registrar. So we sign statement of result for PG, while the certificates of both the postgraduate and the undergraduate are signed by the registrar, just like the PG school is signing for PG statements of results. And like I said, our certificates are the same. That's why the list is being taken there, the mobilization, because you don't have. Let me make this clear, because I'm sure at the end of this exercise, you still have to ask this question. NYSC margins. In DRC, our students don't vote for NYSC. Bear in mind, and that nothing can be done to allow you go for NYSC, but you'll be given what? Exclusion certificate. Because these policies are not made by AB. This is a national policy. You know, before they made these policies, distance learning was not in existence. But effort is being made to see that you are included. Because, like we said, even the Minister of Education has said it, that distance learning centers are going to stay in Nigeria. So we are hoping that this thing will also be regularized, will be ratified. Because then only those working class, maybe those that pass the age of service, are those that are admitted to read distance learning center. But now we realize that distance learning center is the safest and the simplest mode of delivery. You don't need to leave Lagos, Abuja, Akure to come to Zaria to get accommodation, to do this, to do that for you to have your degree. You can have the degree in your own house. You can also have the degree even if you are outside Nigeria, because we do have centers across Nigeria. Lately, or of recent, even those that are outside the country, before we used to have a center in Jeddah and UK. And those centers, we send those that will man our exams from Nigeria to UK, especially Saudi Arabia. We have a lot of students, especially those in nursing sciences. You know, most of our Nigerians do Java to Saudi to get employment. So they still enroll into our own programs and then the UK. But this is wherever you are, if you are outside UK, if you are in the US, like exam, last examination, we conducted the exam through Proctored. So you can be anywhere and then still conduct the exams. Like I said, I have already explained that the National Youth Service, we don't offer that. And during graduation, you are at liberty to come to graduation in ABU. You will be with your fellow students on campus. Well, how do you do that? Before we used to separate you from those on campus, we do put distance learning students. But we realized that we want them to be equal, we want to be the same. So that people will not be thinking that this is a distance learning student, so that there will be any distinction. But we realized that even those in the distance learning center do get more than what other students of campus get. Why? Because you are given attention, because the facility is not overstretched. You know, in distance learning center, there's no limit to the number of students to be admitted. While on campus, there are limitations, because it's not every class that can accommodate huge number of students. So that's why we do that. You do the regularization. This is one thing, like I said from the beginning, we don't do, you don't need to have JAM before you can be admitted into distance learning center. At the end, you do regularization, going to any JAM accredited institution, tell them you want to regularize the admission, they will do that for you. And then I'm advising you now, those that have just been admitted, try and do this regularization as soon as possible. Because sometimes we do have problems with approval of results. Some results are stepped down because you don't have that JAM numbers. So we want to, after this orientation exercise, that's why you are here to know what we do. Try and go to any center. Tell them, if center is JAM accredited, tell them you want to do JAM regularization. You will do that. Then you translate it to us so that it will be imputed for subsequent use and to avoid stepping down your results whenever we submit to Senate. And also, in addition, this is very, very important and key. Writing abbreviations on your names, please, should be avoided. Don't write Aisha Aiba Belli. Make sure you write Ismail as it is. Otherwise, you will be removed from the list. And if you are using 3 names, make sure all your certificates contain those 3 names. Because you are giving us headache when it comes to signing of your statement of results. You will see 2 names on the result sheet, while the person is using 3 names. We can't sign that, because as far as we are concerned, you are not one and the same person. So whatever it is, if you have issues with your names, try and revise them and put them the way they are supposed to be. Please, so that we won't have any issue. Our discipline, student discipline, we handle that. What is student discipline? It can be in so many forms. It can be witness, it can be exam and practice, it can be, we do give our certificates based on what? Character and learning. Not just because you attended school, you expect your certificate to be given, no matter the situation. No, it's not that. If you misbehave, your certificate might be withheld. So please, you should try and somebody is going to talk on examination malpractice, because this is one of the most difficult things we face in distance learning center. Because I don't expect you to behave that way because you are adults. But to our surprise, you do malpractice more than the younger students on campus. You will understand or realize that within one examination, you will have more than 270 something students engaged in examination malpractice. What sort of a thing is this? As students, as elders, you are supposed to respect yourselves. Please, please, you have entering with phone. That is the most common thing. If you enter your examination hall with a phone, there's a penalty for that. If you're using the phone, you will go definitely for a complete 1 year. That's the investigation. So I'm not going to go deep into that. But we issue letters inviting you to come, and if you are found guilty, be communicated accordingly. But remember, we don't send people away without calling them for fair hearing. We will call you to come and hear from you. And from the way we interact with you, we'll be able to know whether that person, the invigilator, was at fault or the student was the one at fault. We want to be fair to our students. We don't want a situation where somebody will just bring you because he's a dean, because he insists that they engage in examination malpractice, and we just send you away. No, we don't do that. We are calling to come and defend yourself, or otherwise, if you cannot defend yourself, then automatically you have done what you were accused of. So please try and respect yourselves. And then something that is also coming us in distance learning center. We know you are rich. We know some of you are richer than others. We know some of us are richer than even the vice chancellor himself. But we don't care. As far as we're concerned, you are what? Our students. You have to behave like one. Whether you are an employer of labor, some of them are senators, House of Representatives, this, and that, MD of this port authority, all these are CBN, whatever. Forget about that. Once you are a student, you remain a student. You should respect yourself. Offering bribes to our lecturers is really highly prohibited. So please try. If you are not ready for studies, you go home and rest. But provided you are here as student and any teacher, any lecturer that demands for anything from you, don't hesitate to report it. It's going to be dealt with. Don't hesitate, because I don't want anything to be mentioned. Won't mention your name, but we'll take action. You should trust us. Be reliable, because we want to be human reliability. We want you to rely on us. Whatever he said will not be used against you. And for those, because somebody be complaining that this lecturer is not attending classes, this one is not doing what? Report. There are channels of report, even if you don't mention your name. Even through your LMS, there is back end. Just report. This lecturer did this, and that, but be honest. Don't report him because he's not your friend. Don't report him because he is being strict. But report him because he is not doing the right thing. And action will be taken. If need be, we will just remove him from the tutors list, because we want to give you the best, and we want to also have the best from you. So please try and do that. So I think that's the end of my presentation. Thank you for listening. Thank you very much, the registrar and the secretary of the Distance Learning Center, for that well elaborated presentation.
My name is Amina Jerry, co-anchor with Mahmoud Kimba. I would like to call on the next presenter will be the Deputy Director Academics. He is in person of Dr. Mariam Dewu and Professor Mariam Dewu. He will be represented by Dr. Modernity Mechiki to give us presentation on achieving academic excellence in ABLC examination guidelines, rules and regulation of malpractice, course credit system, etc. Dr. Modernity, you have the floor. Did you know?
The director, ably represented by the Deputy Director Administration, the Secretary of the Center, other Deputy Directors, the Deans, Program Coordinators, other staff in the Center, and my fellow students, good morning. I'm here already announced to make a presentation on behalf of our Deputy Director Academic, that's Professor Mariam Akogere. To start, we want to understand one important, or we want to draw your attention to one of the important points as far as the standard is concerned. That then is not attainable by chance, but it can be sorted with hard work and attended with diligence. That is very, very important. And this particular point should be your guiding principle as far as this standard is concerned. So we want to look at, first of all, what is academic excellence? When you talk of academic excellence, we are referring to achieving outstanding academic performance. That is demonstrating a high level of mastery, ability to achieve and excel in educational activities. And what that simply means is that for you to achieve academic excellence, one has to be very, very outstanding, and you can only do that when much effort is dedicated and is committed to it. And very, very important is the fact that excellence is not a destination, it's a continual journey that is never ending. This is something that you can have to pursue continuously. Just as the saying goes that when you plan an act, you reap a habit. When you plan a habit, you reap a character. When you plan a character, you reap a virtue. And when you plan a virtue, you reap a destiny. So it's something that you must do continuously. And that is what excellence is all about. And very importantly, as far as this learning is concerned, if you want to achieve academic excellence, there are standards, or let's say things that have been put in place by the center to guarantee the achievement of this excellence. And first of all is the fact that ABU has developed a brand name over the years and is due to hard work and dedication, and which must be guided at all costs. In other words, whatever we've been at the distance learning, just as the Secretary mentioned during her presentation, ABU has a brand name, and the fact that you are students of the distance learning platform doesn't mean that you compromise or try to undermine whatever effort ABU has put in place over the years to what it is, or if you reckon as one of the best universities in Nigeria and even in Africa. So this is very, very important. And ABU is renowned for its academic excellence demonstrated through various achievements and ranking. Yes, ABU has been ranked variously or differently as one of the best universities, not just in Nigeria Africa. And as far as world ranking is concerned this year, check very well, ABU has actually gone from what it used to be, position it used to occupy. And that is very, very important. And even the NUC is very, very high as it is now. As far as NUC rank is concerned, ABU is number 1. And it means that we have to protect, we have to guard, and then we have to promote that name that has been earned through hard work and education. And then being a best center, of course, we have by example. And students are very, very key as far as the stakeholdership is concerned. If you drive that best center position that we've been requiring over the years. And it is also expected that learners should be able to contribute meaningfully to the society. Yes, your contribution is very, very important. And this contribution is both learning and character. We'll be emphasizing that later, but that is very, very important. And that is why we are all here to society on how to contribute to the development of the center and the university at large. So, very, very important. I should really emphasize academic excellence as far as the center is concerned. One is for professional and professional growth. Yes, because as far as learning is concerned, knowledge is not meant to transform you or me as an individual. And once you are transformed, it means you have the ability to contribute to the society. And professionally, help to your growth. Yes, in terms of work career, even promotion and the rest. Yes, I believe some of you, maybe you are here, you are HMD holders, and you are doing your degree now with the expectation that at the end of the day, you can be converted to your place of work. Or maybe you are a junior staff, you want promoted to a senior staff, and you're coming through the distance learning platform. This is very, very important. So it's not just any degree, but a degree that will add to you personally and professionally. And it also a kind of career opportunities, yes, which will really have opportunity maybe to switch from a particular role to another, or from your present job to another, which is very, very important. And then it's also helping to compete as far as the society is concerned. Yes, when you talk of competition, you compete in terms of knowledge and skills, or you can even compete in terms of the certificate itself. When they say you want a degree holder, for example, you can also present yourself as a degree holder, which is very, very important. And it gives you that opportunity to also create impact in the society. And then it also gives you the opportunity to continue learning. That's lifelong learning. It's a continual process. And then with every PhD, you will not end your degree and end your master's degree, and then you proceed from there. And then this is very, very important. But for very important, we qualify our learners for admission, that is the graduate and professional schools after graduation. It means after your degrees here, when I talk of degrees, I'm talking about undergraduate and postgraduate, and pursue your MPhil, PhD, and other programs as far as the Nigerian system is concerned and the international community. As certificates are recognized worldwide and you can take it anywhere. So that will also add to your credit or to your CV as far as the personal growth is concerned. And it also makes learners excel or survive in competitive job market. Yes, as far as the standard here is concerned, people skills imparting the knowledge that you can compete as far as the job market is concerned. Because here, Secretary has mentioned it, the emphasize that the certificate is the same for those who come also the distance learning platform, so there is no discrimination. And it also helps to build dependent ideas. Yes, our programs are short that because of what that will be able to maintain. And students are out of work. They are major steps, so let's say that we equal to the standard. Yes, if you don't impact the requisite knowledge, use the rest. When you are out of this place, people will see that, and then it is at the center of your mind as far as it is standard and excellence is concerned. So it's very, very important that you keep it. And what are the key stakeholders as far as the PhD is concerned and excellence? First, you have the learners, that is the reason why we organize this orientation. Second, we have PhD management, and then we have program coordinators, we have the quality assurance unit, we have editors, we have IT staff, also supporting administrative, technical, and then academic support. All of us include stakeholders as far as academic excellence is concerned. It means that, for example, a teacher is playing his role, students are expected to also play that role as well. That is what contributes to the excellence as far as distance learning is concerned. So when we put this together, we have in terms of student behavior, have character, learning, and then everything. And what this simply means is that the aim of student is both character and learning. Yes, you can deny any certificate if you have found wanting in terms of character. Yes, you can pass the exam, you can be an intelligent or an excellent student, but when you are lacking in character, you can deny the certificate. What do I mean? When you don't respect your teachers, when you go for exams, you want to shout at creators when there are little challenges, to sort them out and meet them with. You want to show maybe you are from office, you want to show who I am, and the rest. These characters all of ABU standard. So please, you are expected to behave and conduct yourself so that wherever you go or you present items, you also respect the truth. Yes, this is the person that now. So please, we all have challenges. If you have any challenge, you can put calls across, you can ask president and the guidance or the guidance instead of shouting or trying to call your lecturers or tutors or even administrators as the case may be. So please, character is very, very important. And just as I mentioned, the certificate in every is earned in this two aspects. So when you look at the overview of the system, first of all, we have the academic calendar. Yes, this learning has a stable academic calendar, and then it's being issued or reviewed annually as the case may be. And there are 3 semesters as far as every semester. We have the January semester, which is on now. It starts from January and it ends in May. And that is when the next semester starts, and then it ends by semester. Semester exams for semester, sorry, September semester starts and it ends in January, and then we start the new semester. So we have this flexibility to actually affect so many factors in case if you are not able to meet the last semester, you can get up or you can put yourself together to make sure that you meet up. And this 3 semesters are designed to actually ensure flexibility to ensure that learners are carried along. And very, very important, as far as the calendar is concerned, and the registration means that registration exercise for new students is conducted 3 times every semester. Yes, and after each step of registration, have 13 weeks of lectures, and then we have 1 week of optional tutorial. That is just the first week of tutorial. Please, let me just tell us, those people that are here and even those that are not here, and when I speak of I'm talking those of you physically here and those online, that as students, if you want to have, you have to use face-to-face interaction with your teachers, that is allowed. Just meet your class rep, inform him that you want to, or that the courses that you will be having challenge, particularly like specific courses. You can meet your class rep, the person will reach out to you, lectures will organize, where the lecturers will come, probably solve some questions for you physically, for those of you that can hear yourself, and those of you that cannot hear, they can also avail themselves virtually, but it will be instant, it will be synchronous, whereby you will talk instantly and person can be answering the rest. So this is very, very important. Even though it's optional, so it's not by force, but please, it's also an opportunity for you to key into. Yes, and then our examination was 2 weeks. That is 10 days, all weekend and weekdays, SAP. And then we have a course structure as well, status of our courses. First of all, the type of courses we do have a core course. When you talk of a core course, it's a course that is mandatory and must be earned, it must be taken and passed by the student. This is a core course. So when you register your courses, please make sure that you check the status of the course. And see core courses, with elective, see coordinator, whatever. Please make sure that your core courses are very, very important. You must later apply them. And it means that if you fail a core course, you have to recheck again. Consider carry over. And if you don't pass it, for example, you cannot graduate. For example, like JS 101, which is 103 and the rest. These are core courses of all students which we register. So if you see them thinking that they are not from your core discipline, means you have to go back to them. And then you cannot graduate until you pass all these core courses, just as I said. And it is also taking at the department. Yes, that is one of the president in the department. And close to course courses is community. Yes, public courses are courses that are intended to expand the knowledge in the related field of basic data. And it means that those courses can be outside your main department, but they are coming and because they add value to you as a student. Yes, and it's very, very important. And it's meant to actually train, transfer skills and knowledge in areas that are related to your program. And it's also the statement is like that of the common school. The common course must be studied and must be passed. If you don't pass it, you cannot graduate. And then the other category is elective. Yes, elective are actually courses that then take that boost their GP or to also add to their own skills and later the KPP. But all the elective courses are optional and they allow you to take courses in areas that your interest or that adds to your interest as a student. And then when you select them, you study them diligently so that they can broaden your knowledge. There is temptation that you don't always have that. The theoretic courses maybe just to boost their CGPA and the rest of as far as I'm concerned, they're not acknowledged them, but that is the case. Actually has knowledge to students and it's very important to treat it with all seriousness, just the way we take on courses. And if you fail an elective course, you may not necessarily take it for them, automatically it will affect your work to a CGPA as a case may be, or to credit. So, and if you pass it very well, also put your CGPA as a case may be. So, this is very, very important. So, for you to get an elective or the company, it depends on the credit unit that is allowed or that is permissible by department. You know that as students, you are expected to take 10 minimum credits every semester, and the maximum credit is 24. However, if you are graduating, that is very, very important. In fact, this ongoing registration is what comes to students that they do not research courses because it's only a single course they have, and that is the only course they should for semester. Yes, as far as the system is concerned, you can register even 130 minutes if it's your final semester. But the system does not allow it systematically. So it means you have to reach out to the center and then they will program the elements also, sorry, the registration portal such a way that it can be updated. Because the portal is already programmed in such a way that it's only recognized just every minute. So it is very, very important. So you have to consider a number of credit units you are taking or taking elective courses. And then the maximum credit load that is out there. Yes, as far as that, just as I mentioned, generally it's fair, but some departments may have differences. And these differences always fit in terms of what graduation requirements. For example, there are departments that you may be required to have 120 credit units, for example, before graduating. And if you put your core courses together, they won't give you that liberty. It means you have to take elective courses before graduating. So it's very, very important. Don't undermine the system that maybe you are not taking elective and then you feel from that. At the end of the day, you'll stay in this learning center up to the extent that because of what? Because you don't have the required credit unit. So it is very, very important. So advise to contact both the liaise with your program mentors, know how to go about being protected. But automatically, if you look at your course structure, the way it is, you see either in getting elective or covenant or as the case may be. So it's a type of emphasis is there. Here is that you should make sure that you take your core courses first before you pick up your elective or covenant and then elective. That's the order, that's the parent, which is very important. And how do we evaluate students here? There are two ways of evaluating students. How about we call formative assessment and then formative assessment? The formative assessment here refers to what the continuous assessment that students do through the semester. It is actually going to monitor progress of students and also identify all areas. And that's why we always emphasize as a system or as a center that all continuous assessment are meant to be given to students at least 2 weeks before examination, and then grading should be completed before that time, so that students will be able to monitor or see how well they are performing academically and how to improve. So please, the indicator I'm giving you again is once it is 2 weeks before exams and you still have tutors that are able to give assessment or fail assessment, please reach out to the center. You are not reporting, you are only raising a kind of positive alarm that will improve you and improve the center, because that is the rules and regulations set by the center, which is very, very important. And when you talk of summative assessment, that is the end of center examination. Yes, it is one, and the exams you see. So these are the type of assessment that we do, and this is in line with what is considered in campus as we see. And when you talk of the computer assessment, it's divided into different categories. Yes, we have the gradable forum, we have individual assignment, we have group assignment, and we have quizzes. So the gradable forum comes to 5 marks, individual assignment 5 marks, group assignment 5 marks, the quiz consumed 25 marks, and when you put it together, adds up to 40 marks. So there are also instances where some tutors may, due to want of time, not break the assessment into different categories of 60. This should be done. And when it is not done, also begin your right and your responsibility to reach out to the center, planning your program so that we ensure that the right thing is done. So please be guided by this breakdown. And for your exams, before, for those of you that have been with us for, let's say, 2-3 semesters ago, we used to have CPT essay exam. From that side, we only have one examination, which is so it means you're submitting assessment on skill, how many marks? 40 marks. And you're submitting, or let's say, the examination on skill, how many marks? 50. So it is very, very important. But please don't forget that if you fail to be done with your formative assessment, even if you score 60 over 60 exam, can be failure. And it's part of the discipline that has to be. So you don't just come at the end of the day and you write exam and pass. Yes, you can be as intelligent as anybody, write exams, score 60 over 60, to see the carry over. So please take your assessment very seriously and make sure that you be within the range of time that is stipulated. So, and for JES exams and PSAQ, the center has also made an advancement as far as the is concerned. Before they reach just to get examination we're taking for now, they actually see it. So please, and from last semester, the quiz to the JES company was taken even privately, means it was taken at the comfort of your house. You can hold your computer and then take the exams. But then you have a limited time. And once you delay and the time is over, that is not for you. So please, and it's considered 70% or 60%, yes, maybe. So for those of you in accounting, economics, and then business and UPS, those exams, they are all CPT, not AC, just like just. And this is a great point that you can use with our CGPA, your CGPA and GP. When you talk of CGPA, that's at the end of the session, GP is at the end of the semester. And that is what guides you to know the class of degree that you graduate. For example, you have 4.50, 5.00, you have the first class. And then when you have from 3.5 to 4.509, have second class upper. And then from 2.40 to 3.90, you have second class lower. And then when you have 1.50, 2.3, you have the first class, and as the case may be. I think this semester or last semester, the student took a call across and asked me, and then I referred it to the class manager, that he's surprised that he scored 2.49 and somebody scored 3.30 something, and the person is giving a higher class of grade than him. I laugh. I know it's out of ignorance because maybe the student is not concerned with the way CGPA is completed. So please, for you to achieve academic excellence, you need to understand some of these requirements so that it will guide you. For example, when the semester result is released, you see your GP, and that automatically will help you to see, to discipline yourself on how to go about your studies in order to improve. Our aim is to have many of our graduates in first class so that the name of the university can. But it's not given its ends just as a nation of the beginning. So it is very, very important. All professional master's degrees are not classified. They are not classified into these classes. So these classes of always have displayed is meant for what? It's meant for undergraduate degrees. So please just take note. Yes. Then for the postgraduate degree is when the pass mark is 50, so it's very, very important to conduct it. And to also enhance academic excellence, the center takes some trainings that is like to practice, laboratory practicals and things. And these are done for specific programs. For example, when talk of industrial training, computer science students do go for industrial training and mass communication now. And they are doing one level second semester, they embark on industrial training. And to practice is meant for those PhD, they are meant to undertake the practice and maybe not student, which is very, very important. Also, students to do laboratory practicals, giving NPS students, they do practical. And fellowship are taken by students of science and additional studies. So all these components, industrial training are very, very important. And you are trying to do it when you, because when you delay, your mates are help of you, sometimes it's very difficult to be done. For these other programs with the extension of fellowship, the survey is always sent at the beginning when it's about to commence. And when you fail your survey, that is when you feel the opportunity to partake or to be part of any of the industrial trainings. So it is very, very important that you follow information that you share with them. Then, graduation requirements, yes. One of the requirements of graduates is expected to graduate project, yes. And this project is support the graduate students, and the training is given, but it ranges between 8 to 6, which is very, very important. Is calculated as part of the control. And the students are located supervisors at the beginning of their first semester, their final year. So in case you are not located students, especially for the graduate students at the beginning of the semester, you should reach out to your program director. And then for postgraduate students, they are located supervisors at the third semester of their registration, particularly for programs like MD and MPs that have more than 2 semesters. For programs that have just 2 semesters, sessional intermediate, MSc and rest, you register and you pay for the project at the beginning of the semester, then at the second semester you are expected to wrap it up together with the program you are diligent and fast enough. And then students are also expected to submit copies of their project. Yes, you have to submit copy and hard copy for now. Maybe with time, the center will decide how the submission will be for now. You need to submit 3 copies. These copies are hard-bound and then submitted physically, and you submit it with TCP, for the project TCP, and then you submit it alone, which is very, very important. And the center has found the flexibility and to guarantee academic excellence have also been signed different categories of departments. In the past, we used to have 3, maybe you've known this, that's one making reference to it. But now we have only 2 types of department, have semester department and course department. And semester department, it means that after registration, and maybe you have some challenges that you cannot do, you cannot use up, you can differ. The department will cost you 20,000 naira for all the courses. But what happens in this case is that when coming back subsequently, you're not going to pay school fees, but you have to be reallocated tutors taught. In fact, even if as a part of your examination paper, it means you have to start the semester all over again, but you're not going to pay school fees. Very, very important. So please, I want to plead with our students that make sure that nothing stops you from getting the examination. Instead, it is very necessary. Yes, the reason why examination department was stopped is because of abuse. Students were abusing it, and that's why it was stopped. And some students who have that mentality today that they go to the exam when they miss it and they ask it and then differ. Yes, of course you can differ, but they don't feel and get it done. And the cost of defining the course is the same with defining 50 courses. The defining 50 courses is very critical, but the very long course is still the same amount, which is very important. The course department also gives students the liberty and the flexibility to depart from courses. For example, after registering, let's say 10 courses, and you later discover that your intention at work, or your family intention, or your also, yes, your side hustle will not allow you to take all these courses and choose to relax on or depart from. and then we continue with the rest. Sometimes it's due to academic ability. Yes, some people don't have the ability to take more courses because they want to read and concentrate. So you can actually drop some courses, and continue with the one that your brain or your IQ can absorb, and continue with them. Then subsequently, these courses that when we teach subsequently, you repeat them again. You're not going to pay school fees for those courses separately. Those are going to be added. But don't forget that when added or when subtracting these courses, you're creating a load, as I explained in the should be guided. Yes, because you cannot register more than 24 and you cannot register less than 12, except if you're a final year student. And even final year student, you cannot take more than 26, which is very, very important. Because we are also guided by the fact that we need a limited amount of courses to register so that you can be to studies. And then we have the tutorials. Yes, just as I mentioned at the beginning, there are usually one week tutorial and it's being conducted here at the learning center. But then please, if we need that, we need to have the center the program because some programs are doing also want the same thing. So what the center usually do is that center organizes actually based on the of days and time of key courses that students have interest. So please you have that. And then you have this you can take advantage of the tutorial to have interaction with your lecturer and fun, especially for those of you that don't like training lectures. And then just as I said, it is virtually transmitted. For those of you that are not physically present, can actually keep it because once the tutorials are taken, things will be shown with students that are not physically present so that they can also benefit from that knowledge. And I want to assure you that the reason why we see a particular aspect of the fact that some of you may not have the opportunity of meeting your lecturer. For example, you have a prominent lecturer, let's say in department that is well known. Yes, maybe you're studying pharmacy and you have a big name that you've not met before. It is through this tutorial that you meet them. Because you may be asked when you go out and you are claiming you are a graduate of, let's say, pharmaceutical science, science, and you are asked, do you know Professor Umori? And you say no. That will sound somehow good. Feed into this tutorial also give us the opportunity to bring people that you can meet and then you appreciate learning. And it will also bridge the gap, that quality of exchange between you and the physical or the conventional system that we always like to break it. And then for you to qualify to sit for exam, it's very important that you need 75% attendance. And then we have exam timetable that is issued 1 month before examination. That's what is longer. And from that, you're expected to bring your examination speed, and then you can prepare for your exams. And then before exams, the examination venues are distributed where you know where to sit for your examination. Yes, and it is very, very important that as learners or as students, it's very, very important that you should be very, very conscious of lateness to exam. Yes, as it is now, it used to be 1 hour, but now it's 30 minutes. Once you are 30 minutes late to the exam, you will not be allowed to the exam. That's the standard. So please, once they don't go and be leading that you should give the opportunity to go. It is very, very important because the consequence is that the entry, it will reduce time in giving. When you go there for exam, let's have something, let's say 5 minutes ahead of you, and you are going late, means you are compared, or in fact, you must submit your script the same time as submitting. So it will reduce your time. And stress, anxiety, dysfunction, when you go through exams, all settings, you are trying to think, to memorize, and you're not able. That dramatically affects and disrupts your exams. So it is very important. And you are strongly advised that if you are talking about examination is come from now. Yes, it's very, very important. And you are advised to abide by the rules and regulations guiding the conduct of the examination of the university. And you are not meant to introduce anything that is foreign to the exam. Please, I want to stress this point that at the point of printing your exam card, all the rules and regulations in the exam are stated. That's the best rules guiding the exam, like the usage of phone, smartwatches, and all any form of that. You are not expected to copy with it. Please make sure that you copy. So please, you check before you enter. And when you do that, For example, the consequences is that you can be your examination. Sorry, you can be expelled, but we don't use the word expulsion. Your admission letter will be withdrawn. That is the consequences. Because once you are given admission, take an admission rate at entry. And I believe there is a form that you sign. The secretary of always issue a form that you sign, just like an form that take a bit. Once you complete the exam, that will be withdrawn and then automatically release the admission. And then, you know, if you affect your self-reputation, maybe your parents are giving you school fees or your husband is giving you money for school, and you have found one thing, go back home, you not able to tell your husband. Also, how far with your parents? That will affect your self-reputation, even as a husband. How will you look at your children and tell your children that they involved in exam malpractice? What legacy are you? So please, it is very, very important that by guidance, we don't take exam discourse for granted. So please, all the rules and regulations are stated. I'm reading it. When preaching the exam slip, you check them, and then the key ones are summarized the exam. Make sure that you read your exam slip before going to the exam. When you write the exam, the booklet also contains rules and regulations, such as transferring your booklet or question paper or getting all this is out there. Please make sure that you read them to the guidance, because they say ignorance is not an excuse for resistance of the law. When you come first every question I see, we're not aware or I don't know. This I don't know is on its own. So it is very, very important. And as far as the flexibility is concerned, center also design the exam differently. We have weekday and we have weekend. And you choose your time or you choose your exams based on the time that is provided. Means you can write your exam during weekend and you can write during weekdays. And that is when if the opportunity, if you are working, you also have the time. But what we have our weekend and weekdays means that we start our examinations on Fridays. And the exams that are scheduled on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday are repeated on, that is the first Saturday and Sunday, are repeated on Monday and Tuesday. And if you miss the weekend, you can take that to the weekday. And the second option, which is starting on Wednesday and Thursday, can also write on what the last Saturday and Sunday. Then that Friday morning is repeated on Saturday in the evening. But if you miss that Friday in the evening, that's all. It's not. So we have weekend, we have weekend, and we have holiday. But then you can choose to write. And then we are not encouraging you to actually miss exams. But if you have any reason why you cannot meet up, center provides it as a facility. But then it is very, very important that you can also, if you really time to write your exams in Zaria, in Lagos, and then you have an appointment in Abuja, or and then when you can continue with the exam, nobody will stop you. The only thing you need to do is find yourself in the administrator, and then you are allowed to write the exams. So these are part of the flexibility that can be through, which is very, very important. So we do that in order to increase access, to reduce stress, to improve performance, better time management, and to make sure that we are inclusive. So as far as EDU distance learning is concerned, learning because it's a pleasure, not a routine. And when you keep into or when you keep to issues and regulations, you're going to enjoy your stay and your learning in Thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for this.
Thank you very much, Dr. Manasi. Though you took more than the time that was allocated to you. Thank you very much for that presentation. So I would like to call the Dr. Manager to come forward and give us his presentation. Give us his presentation on post-registration portal LMS facility examination.
Before the program manager's presentation, so I know a lot of you have listened to the previous presentation. Please, if you have questions, just note them down. Write down your questions. There's going to be a Q&A session after this presentation. And pay attention to this very particular session. It's very important. Very, very important. Please. If you are sleeping, if you're able to sleep, please wait till the house. Now the questions you want to ask from previous presentation. Thank you very much.
Okay. Okay. Good afternoon, Director, Deputy Directors, the Center Secretary, the Deans, Program Coordinators, my fellow staff, students. My name is Otupa Ibrahim, the portal manager. So I'll be presenting on the DLC portals for today. So the responsibility of Oga, calm down. We'll share the slide with you. The responsibilities of the portal manager is to manage the center's portal, allocation of tutors to students at the beginning of every semester, attending to students' challenges on any of the portals. So these are the responsibilities. So now, about the portals. We have several portals in the center. We have the application portal, the registration portal, the learning management system. We have the exam slip portal, deferment, academic requests, the exam logic, and the result checker. So each of these portals has its own function. So for the purpose of the presentation, I will be skipping application because that's what you use for the first time you want to apply. So now let's talk about the registration portal. It is termed SIS. We call it SIS portal. That's Student Information System. So we also call it registration portal. So it's either you say SIS or registration portal, it's still the same thing. So the activities on this SIS portal, the first thing is how to log in, changing of password, editing of profile, course registration, and payments. So after your screening, you all receive login. That's your username and what. So if you are asked your login credentials, it's your username and password. So who can describe the way the username is? It combines what? Your names. Good. So you want to log in, you need those credentials to log in. Then secondly, we have a default password for everybody. After your screening, you will receive password 1, which you are expected to change. But you know, if you know if you give it, you can just leave it. You understand? But you can still change it on your own. So I don't know if you have to change the password. Okay. Then editing of profile. After the screening, most of the screening officers do this for you, like editing your date of birth, your state, what again? Address, and so on. But on your own, you can do that too. Then, after the editing of profile, we do course registration. I'm sure we've all registered our courses, and maybe you even start the interaction with your tutors. So we'll show all this today. So when you log into the registration portal, are you all familiar with that site? So this is what you first do. The reason why we are doing this is maybe most of you, all this is done for you when you came for training. But from next semester, you don't need to come back here. It's something you can do on your own. You understand? So you will see the interface. It requires for username and password. You all know your username. Can you change your username? You can't change username. That one is default. You can't change it. But you can change your password. Good. So if you enter your username and password correctly, it will link you to another page. Can you see that page? You are all familiar with it. So this is the landing page where you enter your username and password. So on this page, you can change your password. At the top there, something is solving it. But after that, go to classroom. Immediately after it, you see change password. So if you want to change your password, you can do that from there. Because maybe your friend knows your username and you did not change password. So automatically that person will have access to your portal. You understand? So now let's see how to change password. If you click on change password on the first slide before this one, to bring you to this place, you see password. Means you should enter first default. That's password 1. Then the second is new password. The password you want to change it to, you key it there. Then you see confirm new password. The same password you use, try to enter it just to confirm whether the two will match. After it, you now click on change password. But we have rules for changing this password. Am I communicating? Okay. We have rules for changing the password. The first one is the password is case sensitive. Meaning, do you know lowercase? How many of you know lowercase? Lowercase. Lowercase means what? Good. Lowercase is small letter. Uppercase is what? Good. So that's what we call case sensitive. Then it must be alphabetic. Meaning, combination of words, letters, So for those of you that have changed the password, you know that you must put a number in front. Then the character size must be minimum of this character. If you enter 7, do not take it. The minimum is 8 characters. So if you are trying to change your password, you must follow this rules. Don't go and change password and forget. Then you later you start calling up and down. So the next is editing of profile. There are some things you can edit, and there are some you can't edit. You understand? Your date of state of origin, maybe before you make your payment, you can edit your date of origin, you can edit your states, you can upload your passport, and so on. But immediately you save, that's all. You can't come back and say you want to change your date of birth. It will not work again. You understand? You can't come back and say you want to change your passport. It won't work. So you need to contact the admin. You understand? So after editing your profile, you can save. But I know most of these is the screening officers that. So you can go back after this presentation, go back to your registration page. Go and confirm the state, whether it is correct. Your state, most especially for undergraduates, your state and your date of birth must be correct because it will be used in your exclusion letter. Do you understand? So please go back and check whether the date is correct or not. So now the next is course registration. How many of you know how to register courses here? How many of you? I know it's some of you that can register. Because most of you, maybe the screening officer assist you, or you went to cafe. It's something you can do on your own. You don't need to start exposing your login details. This semester, go to this cafe. Next semester, you go to the other cafe. It's something you can do. You understand? So from that page, if you just click on transaction, you click on fees, you will see the list of courses you have to register. For new students, you see your first semester course on your page. You see some compulsory and optional. So at least you pick one optional, depending on your course. But for returning students, sometimes you might see a lot of courses which will be required to select that semester course. So what we normally do is, every semester, we normally send the courses of the register for you. You understand? We send it to your mail to follow that course and register. Some of you, you will go and select wrong course. Later you come back and start saying you want to change. So let's be very careful while selecting these courses. Because if you continue, we'll start, maybe we'll attach payment to it. If you miss any course, if you want to change it, you pay for it again. Nobody will swap. So let's be very careful. So after selecting, if you scroll down, you now click on pay fees. If you scroll down, you click on pay fees. From the pay fees, it will link you to the payment gateway. So, and we have several payment gateways. We have the transfer, we have the card, we have the USSD and so. But they are different. If you are using this transfer method, no, USSD card method, the charges is different. It charges you based on the amount you want to pay. You understand? But if you use transfer, you just charge 300 naira flat. If you are paying 1 million, you say 1,300,000. But if you are using card, it can charge you more than 1,000. You understand? So I advise you to use transfer, but while using the transfer, you need to be very careful. Because they will just send you an account number where you transfer the money to. Now? Yes, everyone, even this one outstanding, all the payments. So any of the payments you are using, you need to be very careful. So this is another payment method. This is the interface of the transfer method.
You can see your one at that side. You see, it's for because the student called that I want to pay and they don't see TLC. I'm seeing one pay stack Titan. I say yes. You understand? If the account just pay in, because the student was scared. I say just pay. There's no issue. So if you are using the USSD to the other side, well, I advise always use this transfer method. It is very fast in payments. So in the process of payment, you might encounter some error. See this type of error. Maybe if you want to pay, if you notice that error, it means you have used data as that the base tag block the thing maybe is wrong. And before this error will go, in after 24 hours. So let's assume, for example, the registration is closed today. You now want to pay. You now encounter that error. What to do? It's automatically increase that semester. You understand? So that's why it is very good to don't rely on that. So that 9 minutes always has own consequences. You understand? Do I know financially there's issue, but at least don't say you want to pay when the portal is closed. You understand? So if you notice that type of error, you don't need to call. Just know that your account has been locked until after 24 hours. So that's all about the registration. Is there any question? How we move? Yes.
For the registration, sir, like how many weeks for months?
Oh, how many months? Time limit for registration. That's when it's normally communicated by the management. But the first week is 2 weeks. Normally 2 weeks. Then after that 2 weeks, the management might decide to maybe extend. So if there's any extension, we'll communicate. Any other question?
Why do you 8 hours? Why making the payment at 8 hours and encounter this error? Does that mean the money has gone or it will be refunded back to the account?
No, nobody even deduct your money. Yes, it's just that you might miss that semester. Because this error will be wiped off after 24 hours. So now you are all good to go. You can pay without coming to the center. But I know some of you are scared of doing online transaction. Huh?
My question here is if you want to register for course, for example, you have like 10 courses. You have to register them at the same once. You have to make the payment at once.
No, I don't think we have 15 courses. But if you have maybe all your courses, the compulsory is like 12, like for nursing students. You are requested to register all, but you can register minimum of 12. Later on, you pick the remaining based on your pockets. You understand? But you must register those courses and pass them before you graduate.
So my question here is our registration. This of the courses, elective.
Which course? Which program? Yes, there is no elective in accounting. No elective. Only program with elective. We have public admin, we have library, science, we have mass comm. But for business admin, economics, Economics, we have elective. You understand? So on the portal, you will see compulsory, you see optional. So anywhere you see optional, you have to pick minimum of one for undergraduate student. But for like nursing, business admin, no elective. All the courses you see. Undergraduate for first semester, which level? You started 200. You are supposed to register 10 courses. You will see it next semester. Maybe they think your money is not complete, so they now reduce the tension. So that's for the registration portal. We'll still share the slide with you. So now let's move to the next one, which is the LMS, Learning Management System. So this is a virtual class. This is where you interact with your tutors. For the learning management system, the main we have the dashboard, we have the home course, forum, assignment, quiz, gradebook, studio, resources, help. So all these things, you'll notice it on your learning management system. The same login, because there are some students, they will come here, they will tell you, I can't log in. Simply because they are using registration number. The registration number might work on the SIS, but it will not work here. On this page, you need to use your username and password. Some of you will use email. No. Username and password. So you use it to log in. After logging in, I'm sure you all have idea. That's page to bring it to that page. So that's the landing page for the learning management system. So the next, if you click on your courses, if you register 6 courses, you see that first place is green. It must be 6. Except for maybe you register like project, mostly you won't see it there. Because you don't assign tutor for projects or all these practicals. Then the next after it, you see 6 grouping. Course grouping. It means you have your 6 tutors. You understand me? Then the next one is the tutor grouping. That tutor grouping is done by the tutor. Maybe for group assignment. Because students will call you that I don't have tutor. If I check, I will notice there is tutor. That tutor grouping is meant for the tutor. Maybe the tutor wants to give group assignments. You are like 100 in the class. You now want to give group assignments. So you can now maybe use like 5 to the group. So we call this subgroup. Now, if you want to know the names of your tutor, if you click on any of it, because it will further bring you there with the tutor's name. You understand? It's your tutor's name. Now, if you now click on any of the ones again, it will lead you to where you can see the profile of the tutor. That is maybe the tutor's email and phone number. So if you notice your tutors have not started maybe interact with you, you can just go there. You understand? Click on the course, start course, it will now show you the tutor's email and phone number. So you can call the tutor. You understand? So if you are calling this tutor, don't start misbehaving. You know it's your tutor. You can start with good morning, sir. Please, you have been assigned to me for this semester. Do you have any WhatsApp, for example? Don't start like that. When are we starting class? Don't just come and start shouting. You do not have the nose use money. You understand? Because some students can do that. They'll be thinking they've already paid, they can shout. So please, don't shout to me. So if you now call this tutor did not respond. You have program coordinators. You understand? All of you have program coordinators. You can now call your coordinators. Man, sir, I called my tutor. The tutor did not respond. So if you now call your program coordinator, the coordinator did not respond again. You call your team. You have teams. You understand? Yes, they will display. We will send you all their contacts. You have this. After the team, maybe the team did not respond again. You have DG academics. You can see the steps. Don't from tutor go and call director. Yes. Because you have people that don't even, because some of you even go and call VC. Maybe you know somebody that knows VC. Because of tutor. When your coordinator is still there that can handle the thing. So there are channels of communication. And I'm very sure before you even get to him, he will respond to you. Because at every stage, the person will say, if you call your coordinator now, the coordinator must call that people. Students are saying they've not, you will not give reasons. So now, how to work on forum? How many of you have participated in the forum? What does it look like? As if you are chatting, text-based. Understand? So the tutor will post, then you are expected to respond. After responding, the tutor will read and now report like that. So the interaction continues. For example, the tutor might ask you, what are the characteristics of a computer? Somebody will just come from you and say, thank you, sir. Is that the question they ask you? Somebody will say, yes, sir. Following. You will be seeing them. What are you following? They ask the question, you are saying, who are you following? So when they ask you question, learn how to contribute. They say characteristics of computer. What are they? What are characteristics? I don't even know. What are characteristics? You have the speed, it store, save, and so on. That's what they need. But you now say thank you, following. What are you following? And sometimes, you know, this forum, it has its gradable parts. Some tutors, what they do, let me start giving you the secret now, so that you be very serious. Some tutors, they can create like 10 forums. They will now decide on one they will go and change to gradable. Maybe the one the tutor will use is saying you say 10. So any question that the tutor asks, just make sure you respond. Because a tutor will not mark thank you. Thank you for what? So that's the forum aspect. The tutor and student interact is text-based. Some of you just go and copy something from tutor say types of computer, just go to AI. You just give him back to send that thing. You do not even check and edit. You see some tutors, if they give you assignment, even though you want to go and use AI, after you download the AI, just do some touches. I think just you can even color. Change the color from black to white. So let's see the assignments. We have two forms of assignments. We have the individual and the group. You know, we mentioned something about group the other time. Okay. For the individual assignments, every member is expected to submit. You submit don't submit somebody's assignment. Don't think they don't read it or they read. Maybe because you are close to somebody, Agama, you finish. Give me your assignment. They send it to you. They don't even check. You submit. You that they give and the giver, you score 0. So please, even though you want to copy somebody's assignment, which is not even advisable, try to do something. So for the individual, it is each member will submit. But for the group assignment, if you have group like 10-10 or 5-5, it is the group leader that will make the submission. So anything the group leader score, if the group leader score 2, all of you will score 2. If the group leader score 5, all of you will score 5. So it is advisable after giving group assignment, you can create a subgroup again. Those members, create a WhatsApp group for that assignment so that you can send your contribution. Not only contribution, you do something and send to him so that at the end of the day, you combine everything. Don't just be a member that is sitting for people to submit. There are some group leaders, they normally report members. They will report you that, sir, this person did not contribute. Are they wicked? They are not wicked. There are some group leaders, maybe if you give money for the assignments, they will not report you. Those are the wicked ones. Yes, because they are encouraging you not to participate. And sometimes the question for the group assignment might come out exam. Will you have group leader there? You're on your own. So please learn how to contribute, because we have scenarios that from students, if the group leaders submit without their contribution, they will report. They will say, I did not contribute. Why will you submit? So please, let's always participate. Can you see red and green on this page? Without even me explaining, what is the meaning of red? Danger. Danger. Then what of green? You are good to go. Don't allow your portal to have a red. That red means your tutor gave you assignments, the time expired, you did not submit. The green means you have submitted. And with most time, the time frame for this assignment, you see some people will give 2 weeks. But you will say that 2 weeks, there's time. There's time. So when it is 9 minutes, you want to submit, you have a network issue. You know, mostly 9 minutes, I don't have issue. It's not an issue. Because a lot of people want to submit that time. If you have one, maybe you are offering like 5 courses, get a notebook. Because you'll be receiving several assignments at the same time. Get your notebook and write. Board 101 is expiring on Monday, 12 something. Board 102 like that. So this one will make you track the submission. You understand? I'm just advising you, but it's not left for you to, because there's nobody that you will call that will make that red to be green later. Except if the tutor now decides it is not compulsory to maybe extend for you. But for you to start begging, you know, better you writing. Instead of you start saying, you know, what they call Karamuria. Yes, sir. You understand? For you to start doing that, it's better you don't do the writing. You see some students, if they give assignment today, they will submit today. But some, since they are waiting for people to submit so that they will get some, a person can take like 5 different assignments to do his own. Because he wants to share everything. So in the process of doing that, we will make submission. We will not be calling. There is a student that his father died 5 times in a semester. If you call this tutor, my father died. Because he is looking for mercy. I made submission. If you call that tutor, and you know the funny thing, this tutor, all this complaint, there's a tutor, they say, look at this. You see one person, father died 5 times in a semester. Maybe his father has died since like 10 years ago, but every semester the father used to die again. So please, let's avoid all this. So if you want to submit assignments, let me go back. If you want to submit assignments, on this page, you see view. Under the view, you see the assignment, you now click. Once you click, it will bring you to this. Please always read the instruction. Sometimes some people will say submit using PDF. You know the PDF. Sometimes some people will say submit using Microsoft Word. You people don't read the instruction. You just see question. From you go and copy direct and paste on the comments. And that instruction too is format. So please, if the tutor say submit using PDF, use PDF. Submit using Microsoft Word, use Microsoft Word. If the tutor did not say anything, you cannot use either of the two. You understand? So from this page, you click on browse. Maybe you've done the assignment somewhere. So if you click on browse, you now click the assignment. You now click send. So once sent, automatically you notice it will tell you the assignment was submitted successfully. Even on your own page, you will see that it has submitted. So to further verify, you can try to download what you submit, whether it will open. Because there are sometimes that you might submit assignments and it will not open. The tutor will not be able to open it. You understand? So always confirm. And there are some of you that you want to outsmart the system, you think the tutors don't read. If they say submit assignments, you go and submit one thing and just done. When tutor give you 0, you don't start complaining. I mistakenly, some of you is not mistake. It's just you are doing it thinking they don't read. Don't go and submit somebody's assignment, please. So any question about the assignment? Yes.
Please, there's something I want to find out. If you are giving a group assignment and you find it difficult to gather the rest of the group member, how would you approach it? Okay. So people are not, they are totally invisible.
You as a group leader or as a member?
As a member. Even the leaders are not invisible.
You know, sometimes there are some students, you'll be calling them, they are members. They just, maybe the leader wants their reg number, just submit it. They will not pick. So if you know you have issue with that, you can just contact the people. I know sometimes this group leader, they feel like champion. He says, see, don't disturb me, I'm very busy. Don't disturb me. Just report that person to people so that they can quickly swap. You understand? If your group leader is giving you problem, well, just report to the tutor. So the tutor can swap. But if the tutor wants to swap, must be ready to take the lead, must be the group leader. Because you that reports, if I select another person, who knows what that other person will do? You understand? But mostly, what I see people normally do, after the group, you assign the group leaders thing, they normally create a subgroup. They will say, okay, if you're in group A, join. If you're in group B, like that. So except if you do not join.
Sorry, why I'm saying all this thing. What about if you have a group leader that is also very active to contribute or to assignment? Also have to wait for him to empty a laptop.
So that's why I said, just contact your tutor. The tutor will change him to you. That's all. You are very active now.
No.
So you're not active.
When I want to actually ask a question similar to this, he is complaining as a member, while I'm a group leader in particular group. And like you said, I create a group that particular assignment. When I send it, I said, please, you can join. Some of them will not join, and you know, finally, those that are in the group are interacting with you. That's what I don't know. Why have to report those that are not interacting with some of the business?
That one is left to you. Let me not say the report. Let me say,
But it's better you report. See, you know that front page. Let me teach you how to do it. That front page, put all your names there. You now indicate present, absent, like that. The tutor will understand. Yes, the tutor will understand you. So, by default, if the tutor gives you 5 marks, you will not go back. Maybe you just give them like, I don't know. I don't know what the data give them. Thank you. So, any more questions on assignments? Because you must submit assignments. You must. So the next one is the quiz. So these are another form of assessments. It's just like objective. As you can see again, you see red and green. Red, green. You have to be very careful with this red. Because some tutors, they have, see, every tutor even have principle, but some are soft than others. You can like for somebody, you now say, okay, let me just extend one day. Some, they will not extend for you. You understand? They will not extend because they've already given their 2 weeks and it has elapsed. Don't wait for you to beg tutor. So for the quiz, objective formats, though this one takes the largest share now, it's 25 marks. That's it. The individual assignment is 5 marks. The group is 5 marks. Forum, graded forum is 5 marks. This is 25. So if you plus all together, total of what? Eh? Good. So now, out of 40 now, what mark did you need, for example, to pass? 20. So you want to finish with E? Yeah. 20. Eh? 60. When you have 20 over 40 in CA, how many marks is made to get C? You know, for assignment, you can be anywhere to do it, but exam, there's no.
So maybe CA, you will be able to score 20. You have maybe.
Why will it 40 on what? It's possible. We shall see. Let's see, we'll see whether it's possible now. Because what will you write for me to give 5 over 5? Eh? It depends. No, you can get 40 over 40. Even if you can get 60, making 100, that's what. Huh? So, for undergraduates, the pass mark is 40. Postgraduate, the pass mark is 50. So if you score 20 over 40 in CA, it's 2 now. You understand? You just target like 35. You know, exam sometimes you think, sometimes where you read, you don't come. It happens now. But if you are allowed to set your question yourself, everybody will. You just set where you read and answer it. But where the tutor set sometimes, maybe it's not where you read. You can't read everything. So that the quiz is 25 marks. So from there you click on, maybe you get the quiz for you, continue. You see the list of quiz, so you select anyone you want. So you don't objectives. You read, then now select the correct option. And that's all. So these are other items. You have the studio, that one is for live class. The resource menu, the extra, and so on. So this exams deferment academic request portal. So you can see the URL there, abudlc.edu.ng. If you want to print your exam slip, we'll send a mail telling you this is the login and the address. You understand? So on that address now, you can print your exam slip there. You can do your deferments and academic requests. So when you use the address to bring you to this page. So for this side, you see registration number. You are not using your username now. You use your reg number. I guess you all have reg number. Some of you don't know their reg number. I know some of you don't know. I don't want to call it. Let's just continue. Go and know your reg number. So you input the reg number and the state. That state is not state where you're writing exam. Your state of origin that you input on your registration portal. So once you log in there, it will bring you to this page. You see learner support, exam slip, deferments, academic. If you want to generate exam slip, you click on exam slip. You understand? If you want to generate, maybe if you want to defer, I will mention deferments while presenting. If you want to defer, maybe the semester or some courses, you use that side. Academic requests, maybe after you graduate, you want to apply for statements, transcripts, and so on, you use the other side. So this complaint here, type your complaint. If you don't have any complaint, just leave it. Do you understand? But if you have complaint, you can complain there. Maybe if you are trying to print exam slip and you don't know how to navigate, just type the complaint. So this is a sample exam slip page. If you register 5 courses, you will see 5 courses on your exam slip when you want to print. But for students, if you register like projects, seminar, OSCE, practical, you will not see it on that page. It is only courses that you want to write the exam that you will see. So from there, you can select the days and the venue of your exam. If you are very flexible, you can decide to write one course, Zaria, write the other one in Kano. You understand? Anyway, but just select it here. So that's for the exam slip. The next one is deferment. How many of you want to defer? How many of you want to defer? See, before we do exam deferment, but it doesn't work now. If you defer, for example, maybe when our exam is about to start, you can't make the exam. You can just go and do semester deferment. So maybe you want to write the exam. You now want maybe something came up. You know, defer. That's the deferment. It means you must do the courses again. You know, it's just like you are repeating the semester again. So if you have any reason to defer, just do your. You understand? You have maybe different exam centers. Maybe you registered before in Zaria, and if something take you to Lagos, you can just go and continue exam there. You understand? So you don't need to actually defer. But except maybe deferment is something serious. But the thing is, anytime you defer, if you defer 5 courses, the next semester will give you that 5 courses again. To start again, you do the CA again before you take the exam. But the only thing is, you need to notify us when the registration is on so that you reassign you back. Not just think because you differ, you now keep exams that you are waiting for us to give. No, you need to tell us that I want to come back this semester. So we'll not do it back because. So, and this department comes with payments. So anyone you want to do, pay. The pay is 20,000. If you are dividing one course 20, two course 20, if you are dividing all courses, is 20,000. So this was the different method. So I skipped on those payments page. So for the academic requests, after you graduate, you receive a mail that your statement is ready. You apply under the academic request. You don't collect cash. Everything, the payment is online. Make your payments and you wait for the officers to work on it for you. So this one too is a payment gateway. So now the last one is your results. After every semester, after the exam, your result will be processed. You don't need to come to Zaria or to the DLC check. You check it online. So there's address for the result. It will be sent to you. Because I don't want you to cram it in. It's sent. Once it is sent to you, you first pray. You pray. But your prayer will not change. And that's what is already there. You enter your username, your reg number, and your state. Please read this instruction very well before you log in, because that state, it says the first letter must be in capital. Maybe if you are Kaduna, capital K, then the remaining is small letter. So, but if you read these instructions, it will guide you on what to do. So, the results page, it displays all your results from day one to your final. Like this now, this student started 18-19 session. We have the result for 1920 and the result for 2021. So you can anytime come and check. You understand? So under the session, you have the semesters too. Anyone you want to check, you click on it. Then anyone you click, you will see the result to be displayed. If you clear everything, you will see pass. Maybe if you have to register 10 courses, but you register 6, you will see that you pass all the 6, but the remaining 4 will show you as outstanding. Meaning you need to register and pass them before you graduate. So that remark column, it tracks of your progress. If you have failed courses, sit there. So that's all for the presentation. Our contact is there. You can call, but not call at the normal hour, please. Then that's our Facebook page and our Instagram page. Thank you very much. Huh? No, we will attend to it later. Thank you. Thank you very much, Reporter Manager, for that presentation. I would like to call on the librarian, is the person of Dr. Ibrahim Salim, to give us his presentation on anything you have to do with library. Sorry, I have the floor. Thank you.
Stop.
Okay, sorry.
Thank you very much, the MC. I know most of us here are very, very tired. Police reach quickly recognize the already established protocol. And a very good afternoon to our newly elected students. Of course, as you know, as still the tradition, you've been invited for orientation and be inspected on some of the basic things you're supposed to know. And one of those basic things of resources you're supposed to be aware of is the library of the center. And that is why if you look at slide on the screen, you see that it is tied to access to print and e-resources. These are very, very crucial resources for academic success. So beyond the study manuals that you're given that are tailor-made, you also need unhindered access, other, vetted information resources that will help you, in excellence. That will also help you in succeeding. So in terms of what we are going to briefly look at is the center library, the categories of information resources that have been put together for your use, and also tailor-made information services that will help to facilitate, access to utilization of these information resources. And we also have requirements in terms of what you need to, attain for you to have access to some of these, resources and facilities, and also opening hours. Because we believe as a student of Ahmadu Bello University Learning Center, you also have some rights and privileges, to access other information centers in the university. And that includes the departmental faculty library and the central library. And also contacts if you need to speak with us as a library, and of course, conclusion. So by way of preamble, once you register, you will screened, you will now become a bona fide student of the center. The advantage, or one of the advantages of that is that you will have access to almost all the resources of Ahmadu Bello University. Because this center is owned by the Ahmadu Bello University. And that gives you some rights and privileges to some of the, central library, headquarters library, satellite libraries like the President Kennedy Library and Institute Libraries. Now, these libraries are, based on, your specialization. In other words, based on your program of study. Say you're studying business administration, you can use, President Kennedy Library or the Institute Library at the Congo Access. Faculty libraries, of course, based on the faculty, departmental libraries, and even some specialized libraries that you find in Institute of Cultural Research, and so on. You have, some privileges, in terms of access to those, libraries. So in terms of information resources, yes, the course materials, these are those, tactically designed resources that aid in delivering, content. Yes, the e-library in particular houses, the course materials. It also houses the ebooks. Ebooks are recommended text based on your programs. I said beyond the course material, you also need to have access to other pools of information resources that will, make your learning, smooth. There are also journals, particularly when it comes to project writing. You need access to primary sources of the information. We also have digitalized past questions. Yes, some of the students who want to have an experience of how the questions, they are going to attempt during exams, look like. This is very important. So we have them digitalized on the library.
can also access them there. We also have databases, specialized databases. For example, we have a database called Science Direct. Science Direct is almost 80% science-based. So if you're from computer science or you're studying the master in public health, Science Direct is, suitable for you. We also have other, subject-based, databases. And I think we also have institutional repository. To some of you, of course, towards the end of your program, you'll be writing a project. You will also have, an idea of how the project looks like, in terms of the chapterization, how is it built, and so on. These institutional repository, houses, the projects of the centers, and also theses and dissertation, in the university, so that you can have an idea of how you're expected to write. But from experience, most students are new, particularly the undergraduate students, they are new to project writing, and it's very important for them to be able to understand, the framework. So the institutional repository, also houses, the thesis and projects. Now we also have videos. These videos are functional videos. For example, one of the courses we're taking as matter information management students is LEAPS 893, that is that principle. So we have videos that have been prepared by taught on LEAPS 893 research principle. We also have the audio. So you could be driving and also listening to lectures. You don't have the time to go through your study journey. Now we also have microform resources. These are condensed information resources that mostly cut across serial resources like newspapers, journals, and some of them are no longer in circulation. So perhaps in the course of your research or assignment or project, you need to use those resources. A certain library is readily available to facilitate access to them. Next is the print resources. The print resources. Of course, the recommended textbook that I talked about, you can have access to them. We also have reference resources, encyclopedias, dictionaries that can, give you timely, meanings to, or give you an information on some basic, concepts. We also have the periodic publications that use journals and so on. So it's just like the opposite of the e-resources. Like the practical manuals, particularly for BNSC North students, you need to have access to your practical manuals. The library also, make sure that they are delivered and we can access them at the various exam offices. And also logbooks, including the clinical postal logbooks, and those studying computer science, the library and computer science. Yeah. So the single-grade information science, like the selective determination. Sometimes, students, contact the library to help them in terms of, abstracting some voluminous, information resources. That is one. To also help them in synthesizing maybe a particular piece of information that is too heavy for them to comprehend. We do this based on the subject instead. Of course, current awareness in general information that includes, available, course materials, recommended texts, and also some general information about the center are also, amplified in the library. And we have referrals. Forget about the fact that most of our students are not located fast. We can refer you to some of the information centers, locations. As libraries, we have this, consortium or this understanding, between ourselves, referred irrespective of where you are. And also instructional sciences, this cuts across, ethical use of information. For most students from experience, when you're given assignments, the fourth point of is the Google search engine. Now we have the AI like the ChatGPT and so on. You just type a very simple prompt and it gives you the answer you copy and paste, not paying attention to ethical use of information. And in one of the presentations, lifelong learning was mentioned. And ethical use of information is part of lifelong learning. It's supposed to understand when you're going against some certain, rights, that are given to some intellectual artistic creations, like plagiarism, copyright violations is very important when you're given assignment. How you ethically, put people on these ideas or inspiration from other sources of information, but also available to also help that. And also even the citation styles, the referencing style, are very important parts that also those not going through how educated you are. The requirements in terms of how you're going to have access to our facilities, the center, and also the university. Of course, you need to secure, admission. When you get admission, you'll be screened, you'll be given admission letter or ID card. That's alone, open doors for you in terms of access to information resources at the center and also in the university. Available facilities. I mentioned that you also have access to facilities that are not within, the 4 walls of the center, including that you can find in the university. In the university. And that's, and they are, discussion room. This allows for like 7 or max, 11, students to meet and have their discussion without, stopping other people around. Then we have the roundtable silence. This allows us to kind of a mini discussion as well. Sometimes, or a symposium, like, of course, the e-library, once you registered, it's just one central number. The username and password that you use to, log onto the canvas. At the same username and password, you also need to, access the e-library. So it's very simple. We have the learning common, where you have access to computer system, photocopier, personnel, internet access, and telecommunication or teleconference, facilities for you to be able to make your learning, impactful. Training room, convenience, and of course, restaurant. Opening hours, particularly for the Central Library, the Kashiri Bryan Library, weekdays, 8 to 8:30 p.m. So for those of you that are in Zaria, or maybe you're passing through Zaria and you have the week off to spend a day or two, you can have access to our Kashiri Bryan Library. The only thing you need to present with your students, that. Then weekends, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. So this is just, brief information in terms of how you're going to contact, us as a library. We have the phone numbers of the library staff. And we also have a Telegram, platform where you can interact with us live. And also, the URL to the e-library. So quickly, I want to quickly show you how you can, access, the e-library. You can use the e-library.uglc.edu.ng to have direct access, that is using your browser. So the basic thing there is that as students, you're going to see these things. You can search book and resources. You can search by what's called course code or your course title. You can type it in there. And the interesting thing is you can read online or you can also download. And you can recite this course material. That is concentrating on those, content or pages, that matters. And also, in terms of expanded access, you can see other arrows pointing towards ABU main library. So you also have access, to the ABU main library. We're going to look at that, very soon. So this is just a picture of how it looks like. Say you search this content material by using the course name or stewardship, or using the course title. It's going to bring you to this part. And you can see the read button. You can read online, or it can be PDF, and you can also download it on your device. So when you click on the ABU main library, it brings you to the central library, to the Kashiri Bryan Library. It brings you here, and you'll be concerned about the resources. So if you look at the drop-down menu, you see that it has, some databases and also open access databases. I mentioned Science Direct. You can access it, via our own library. Even though this is a tutor, experience or picture tutor end. But it's going to look similar with your own as students. You can also have access to e-library by clicking on resources on your LMS. Not many of you there, the e-library, you click on it, it takes you to the e-library. So the goal is to make sure that you have in-depth access to resources. That is why we have provided it. So thank you very much for that protection. Thank you very much, Rosalie, for that presentation. We'll now move to the segment of Q&A. That's the question and answer. I would like to call on the quality assurance, the games.
All right, regarding the last presentation by the hotel manager, some of you raised hands that you want to ask questions. So we're going to give permission for that now. We're strictly going to concentrate on the questions and answers. But before we take the questions from those who join us online, we would like to start with some of you here who are currently present and want to answer the questions. Thank you.
Good afternoon, sir. I have two questions. One question is about the reading materials, because I asked my teacher in my center, told me that when I come to the area, I ask because the reading materials are the same. And secondly, about the lectures, is it for working? Yes, or is only the weekend, as Friday, maybe Saturday and Sunday? That's my question.
Thank you very much. First of all, we asked about reading materials. I know you are talking about hard copy now, because as far as reading materials are concerned, you already have them online. That is the e-copies. Yes, as a matter of fact, the center used to produce those materials for students, and that was embedded as part of your school fee. But with the reality of times, now to the high cost of production of these course materials, the center has suspended our course material, because the implication is if the center will continue printing course materials, it means your school fees is going to increase, if not triple. Because if you check very well, particularly the program for computer science, producing a course material cost like your school fees that you don't pay per courses or per course. And course material that can cost the center more than 10,000 to produce. So that is why the center made it as a policy that students will continue using the e-copies, because increasing the school fees will mean the lives of people to study. All figures are not equal. Probably Mr. A or B can afford it and the level of afford. Not to be in the same level, that is why it is. But we always advise students on the occasion that you can print the course material yourself. That is if you are not very, very concerned with the e-copy like me. But in doing that, if you look at the way the course material is structured, you can chunk out the preliminary pages, the self-assessment questions, the references, and the rest. And maybe a course material of 200 pages can be as tiny as 70 to 80 pages when you compress it. So it will be very, very cheap for you to print. So the one I'm reading, I want to make reference to other content. You have the soft copy, you can make reference to it. This is just to go away. That's the way to go about it. And regarding the issue of the lectures are organized throughout the days of the week, from Monday to Sunday. But we always advise and we insist that lectures should not be put during the day working hours for weekdays, that is from Monday to Friday. We advise that lectures should start 5 and stop by 10. Because you cannot subject them to lectures by 10. Let's say a married woman that is expected to take care of our kids and other domestic issues to be having lectures. But please, once again, when the lecturer is fixing lectures at 4 hours during working hours, report the lecturer to the tutor, to the coordinator of the center to take appropriate action. And even the other ways, lectures can start from morning to evening, or we recommend 30 lectures maybe around 8 on Saturday. And the student reach out to me, fortunately or fortunately, I met her at the place of worship and get the complaint. Today is Saturday, I'm very sure I didn't see any church. And I'm very sure it was lectures. If this lectures are early and 6:30 there. For example, this is Ramadan period. Some people may pray tonight and you are expecting them to wake up as early as 6:30 to join lectures and the rest. Some of this practice we don't frown at it. So please, all the time to us. But the truth is that we don't have a timetable. Once we fix a people, we use the essence of learning is what is repeated. We give students the opportunity to learn at their own pace. And that's why lectures are between tutors and students. But we also understand students can be very difficult. You cannot satisfy everybody. Because what we do, we go with the majority. Some you have a class of 100 and then you have 60, 70 agree on the time, you go with it. Even the other timing that the student was complaining of this is that majority of the students agree that they're okay with the time. So sometimes you find it very difficult to blame the student. But the person that the professor says yes, majority of the students agree with the timing. But sometimes we try to work with the timing just to kind of put ourselves in the view of the student. That is to balance humanity with reality. So please, that is how the lectures are. And then on Sundays, of course, we know that in the morning, many people that are Christians will be going to church. So we also consider lectures not in the morning too, because we deny them the opportunity to attend classes. And that's why sometimes during these classes, even our Muslim brothers say around 6 also, that we turn to the time for prayer and the rest. This is also possible to consider that. Sometimes some people that are persuaded they pray and join won't continue. That one is the problem. Please, should try to keep lectures. Thank you.
Okay.
Access to hospital. Just as you already mentioned, Center has practically expanded the printing of this hospital. What we do is we issue the available. So you say you have 6 courses, I have to only have 2 and give you that one. I don't know where you went to when you try to access the printer yourself. Don't have to do one. Come here. Yeah.
I just want to yes, we fix it up on the LMS. A lot has been said by Dr. Monasi. In regards to that, during the weekdays, as we have said, that anything from 5 p.m. But to some professionals, like the nurses, the medical doctors, that enroll in MPH program, it's expected that some of them are on call and some are on shift. So what we do advise our tutors to do, leave activity on the LMS open, so that they can always refer back to what has been done and always make input or make contribution on the LMS. Thank you.
Okay. Please ask your question.
Yes, please, sir. My question is on goes to the guys hotel manager's pay. When the hotel manager was giving his pay, he made mention of family. Maybe they might pay this student to start the whole semester. And he made mention that okay, that student paid sum of 20,000 naira. I don't know, is he for the whole courses or for a single course as the amount?
Thank you very much. I think I mentioned
Minister. Secondly, is it your plan rate? The amount of 20,000 is it maybe to the undergraduate and graduate students?
yes, sir. It's a flat amount. If you value 20 courses, 20,000, and if you have courses, 20,000. Irrespective of whether I'm graduate or postgraduate or your subject.
My first question, if is 20,000 naira covers the whole.
Yes, if you are defining for a semester, that is the number of courses in that semester, 20,000 cover the whole. And if you are defining one course for that semester, all the family is still the same amount of money.
And you know, sometimes you can defer and all defer again, still 20,000. Maybe you defer, you don't say you don't want again. You don't bring it back, it's still 20,000.
So I want to ask, here my academic calendar is featured on the portal. Because my identity concerning that academic calendar
It's on the portal.
So that's
Yes. The academic calendar is on the portal. Yes.
Then concerning the ID card, how can we get it? Generating, how can we access?
You see, mostly the ID card is normally distributed when you come for exams, so depending on the center. For now, the management is working on e-ID card that you can just print directly on your portal instead of the physical copy. Thank you.
Meanwhile, it's also free that are here. If you register since last semester, check your ID card with the call the center here. Yes. I think the ID cards are ready. That is semester before last. Can check it.
Okay. Mine is observation. I don't know if I can make a play on that. Maybe if all the tutors liaise each other, because I experienced once they compare a general for yesterday that he had two different lectures at the same time. Now they can liaise with each other so that they will not be having conjunction of lectures. And one more thing, I don't know if because in aspect of quiz, there are two ways to access quiz, the LMS app. Through the course, you see where they say take quiz. I don't know if I'm going, if I can know if the quiz is assigned to me by the creator, or because I saw different quiz yesterday when I go through the app. I saw different quiz. I don't know if I'm going to know it's mine through the creator if it belongs to me.
Before the program manager opened the piece, thank you very much for your observation, lectures, easy and clashing. My advice to them, please, whenever a lecture is placed and it's clashing another lecture, you talk to the tutor or the second tutor, because the first tutor that gives the lecture actually takes the time. If the second one is you report the person to the protocol to the center. You have to talk to him to speak that time because the end will be defeated. Having two lectures at the same time, even though sometimes it's very difficult to manage it. So, please.
Okay. I know for the quiz, most of the times, if your tutor said quiz, you see the tutor with your tutor's name. But going forward, you won't even be having a quiz on this LMS again. Maybe if you've written exam before, those are two years exam last semester. There's this platform we use. So that's the same platform we are using for your quiz this semester. Thank you.
Okay, please, we will take some of the questions online before we continue with the ones here. Yes, okay. Question, okay, please, go ahead. This will be the last one.
If you are using Team and Team is going to come, like in other documents, you have the and when you register Team, but whenever they want to send us message, it's only 2 names. Is there any problem with that?
To confirm this, if you go to your registration portal, you will notice your complete name there. Or by default on the NMS, it comes with 2. But on the right portal, you will see 3. But just one confirm. Thank you.
Okay, please, we'll take some of this. We'll quickly start with Habib Basri. Habib Basri said she's having difficulty using LMS. And how is attendance taking on LMS? That's our question. Then
Hello? Hello?
Please, we can't hear again. Oh. I can't hear anything any longer.
On your exam state. So these are to expect you to always take all the guidelines on your exam state, which is very, very important. Please don't say you're wearing two. Also, part of what you should get or you should have as exam guidelines is what we do get as orientation. Remember, the Deputy Director of Academic Orientation talks about examination is fine. The Secretary also talks about examination, but it's all the same thing. So please and please, make sure you make those guidelines for your exams. It's very, very well. Understand them, digest them. Please don't say you weren't, don't say you were not. All right? Thank you very much.
Please, you can talk to us. If you can hear us, please talk to us.
Giving your booklets for your examination. The first page, the cover page, contains some of the guidelines. So that you don't read. Please read them as well. Thank you.
Our online participants, can you talk to us?
Yes, ma, we can hear you.
Please go ahead and talk to us.
Okay, ma. I have a question. I currently live in Ireland, and I want to know how pastoral examination works.
The proctored exam.
Yeah, proctored exam. Thank you.
Oh, all right. That will be attended to, please.
Thank you, ma.
Okay.
Okay, can you hear us? Anyways, the proctored exam is meant for those in the diaspora. As those that are in national in terms of UK or Jeddah or inside Jeddah this semester. So the proctored exam is mainly for those in diaspora for now. But we believe and we think and we pray that with time we'll be able to also incorporate those in Nigeria. For now, it's just meant for those diaspora.
Please just to add to what you said. Regarding the last exam, when the exam was made possible for those in diaspora to take the exams. So people in Nigeria attempted taking the two. I tried to change their location, but they were detected. So please, in case you are here and you want to please don't do it because you lost of it. We have a good tenant now that will surely dictate whatever we are trying to do. So please just be patient with us now. Thank you.
I think you raised the hand. Wanted to ask if someone next to you raised the hand. Please go ahead, man.
Good afternoon. My own question is, I had a presentation. There's any discussion on different semester. But I think it would be a very good if you can help us with this knowledge, the residency period. For one who is in the
Thank you very much. But let's take period. As if someone has given it. Let me give an instance. Let's say you're running a fair program in DLC. You have 4 years plus 2 years extra. That's you have 6 years in total to finish your program. All right? Then you can only defer for 2 sessions. Are you with me?
Say 2 seconds.
That's 3 semesters. No, 3 semesters DLC. All right, we'll have 1 academic year. All right, so let's say you started the program in January semester 26. That's the first academic year, right? First semester and first academic year. We have January, May, and September. That academic year. Another year again, 27. January, May, and September. Academic session, all right? Like that, all right? So now let's say you started semester this year, and you have 4 years plus 2 major program. All right, and then you can only defer for 2 academic semesters and no more. All right, let's say you have 6 years plus 2 comments. So for 2 deferred academic sessions, you have 8 years for 2 academic sessions. But plus or minus, major program in 3 years for 4 years program DLC. You understand?
Chidoba is asking.
My friend is our course tutors. You feel like they have done 2 credit for plus individual assignment. Yet you don't have their WhatsApp group where you discuss. And I don't understand. Maybe the lecture was done or something like that. I even go for that student under that course, and I ask them, no one to have this one. I have some other tutors. I can first send their WhatsApp links.
Well, thank you very much. As a matter of fact, we encourage each of us to WhatsApp for students to communication. But this is not that the WhatsApp group that is being created is not meant for anyone of formal communication. It's not meant for lectures. To be honest, there are tutors that are very, very difficult or that are not using WhatsApp. But we tell them it's part of our criteria as far as even areas are concerned. So please, I don't know the program that you are into, but that is what we say, always reach out to your program coordinators. The first point of contact of influence should be your program coordinator. Report such tutors to your program coordinator. At that level, you'll be able to talk to them to try to see how they can work out is communication. But what we'll do also, tutors that don't like creating or that don't have WhatsApp group, always make sure that they engage on the elements. You have to follow communication elements constantly so that you get yourself abreast of where it's going. So please, you have to make sure that everything is done. Who's your program coordinator? You don't know your nurse's program. I don't know your coordinator. I think you have to answer.
When the calendar stated that the first semester is optional, I want to more clear on that. And then I have an objection on my course. I registered for the courses and I've not been booked on one yet. It's one mechanics. I don't know what.
Yeah, it's quite not empty. The group is still up for you in the group. And just as you said, the first semester is supposed to be a fast track semester. Where you can start away ahead of your colleagues or try to remedy previous deficiencies if there are. But then you are not compelled that you must register 3 times in a year. You want to go through semester, you are good to go. We'll all be the same thing. So please, if you don't have any questions, don't spend enough.
Thank you so very much. I need a clarification of one of the presenters talk about regularization. That is where I want to ask. What about those who have done their NYS?
He's asking on the question of regularization. Regularization is asking if those that have done their NYC need to do regularization, people undergraduate program or graduate program.
Yes.
Yes. The regularization is also regularize your BSc. Understand? So you've gone for service, but you still need to do the regularization because of the BSc. That's the center will avoid it.
Just to add to it, you know, is a child that give admission. The same thing with us. So that regularization will have child number, which will be sent to the Senate at the end of it, will be sent to NYC. They prepare your exclusion letter. So you actually need to job. So if you want to prioritize, the center will go and take your certificate. Yeah. So please, I need to just share one important thing to be with you about fixing time of timing for assessment. The center thinks that assessment should be fixed in a minimum of 2 weeks. Please, when a tutor gives you assignment, individual group, or follow discussion, and it's expected the assignment to last within 2-3 days. Please, you can raise this amount to your program coordinator. Yes, we recommend that the assignment to last for at least 2 weeks.
Hello, James, and
okay, thank you so much. I'm hearing a voice on the background, and okay, all right. Thank you so much for the orientation, Sazama. So my question is, I registered for.
Hello, Bukola, can you please ask the question? Please take the question again.
Okay, so I said I registered for student, but I registered for 6 courses, and up to now I've only gotten prompting for lectures for 3 of the courses. So I don't know if it is possible for us to have a timetable so that we'll know when each of the lectures will be holding, and to avoid clashes with other lectures. Then another question I also want to ask is, I find that I've been assigned as group head for 2 subgroup head as for 2 different courses. I wouldn't know if it's possible to opt out for just one, so I won't having to answer both. So those are my 2 questions. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. James, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you, ma. Good afternoon, ma.
Go ahead.
Yeah, my question is, the first question is that what I noticed was that since I registered for my 6 courses, I've been assigned to 5 courses, and out of the 5 courses, you'll only be having lecture on only 2 as well. So for my 6th course, the FON, I'm yet to be assigned to tutor. And I can hear from other groups that they've been having lectures on FON, Foundation of Nursing in particular. And for the second question, for cases of we students, nursing students, that maybe we write our IELTS or NCLEX exam, and maybe during the middle of the courses, we travel out of the country, maybe to Canada or whatsoever country we went to. So now for the program we've been having here at ABU, can we continue outside the country, or that will be the end for it?
Just educate now, you continue.
All right, thank you very much. Next, please. Okay. Well, Mr. Manasseh, are you going to answer some of the questions before we? Yes.
Thank you very much for your questions. Bukola is asking that she has gotten promptings for those 3 courses out of the 6 to register. Yes, Bukola, if you're not been allocated 2 courses, 5 noted, you'll be allocated, and if you've been allocated and you are yet to get lectures of those 3 courses, yes, some lecturers have started while some are yet to start. And we'll be sending notification, and we ensure that all students their lectures immediately. But just as I mentioned, other students, please, if by the end of at the middle of next week you discover that you are yet to get lectures from these 3 courses that have been allocated to us, please notify us, notify your program coordinator so that we can follow. We also ask for the possibility of having a timetable. I mentioned one of the presentation or when I was answering the question that having a timetable for a distance learning program is like shooting ourselves football at the end of distance education repeated. Yes, this system of education gives you the opportunity to learn at your own pace. And what that's
Hello.
create a rigid timetable. Please, we are talking. Can you just help us?
Madu, hold on, please. Okay.
Yes. So we cannot have a timetable. Lectures are between students and the tutor. They do agree. But we expect that you have a class representation whereby the class rep can always report to the program coordinator when lectures are clashing, particularly when you talk to a particular tutor and they refuse to agree with you, because some tutors are very difficult and they don't give students the opportunity to even comment or to contribute when it comes to decision making. But please, we can do that at our own level so that you start to have the stress of maybe being antagonized or being marked out for anything, even though nothing of such is happening here. And then another person asked if he can continue with his program outside the country. Yes, with the method of examination we have now, we have what we call frontal exams. And prior to now, we were having exam centers in just the 3 countries, even though the third country has not been effective or it has not been very functional. But we've been having exams in London and then in Saudi, and then the other one that we had in Dubai some times ago. But as it is now, last semester, London wrote the examination through. That is the system has designed where they run their exams and they are monitored by a computer. That will be complemented with Saudi, that is just at the semester, and all students living in diaspora. So once you travel out of the country, you can take the exams outside the country. However, you're going to pay for international exams, not like the local exams. In your own case, being a nursing student, you may have a constraint for some of the activities that are expected to carry out, even though they are putting on to take care of that. For example, your practicum and then your practical sessions and the rest, which are expected to put physically on other students, even though I know that the nursing department is working around it. I don't know what they have, but I think let me hand you over to the nursing coordinator to actually respond to that.
Dan Daniel, I'll come to your own question, please. Hold on, okay?
Thank you, I'm with you. Thank you.
With regards to...
Can I ask my own question briefly?
No, hold on, Mr. Daniel. Hold on.
Nursing student on diaspora, as it is now, what we have is that there is no provision for clinical posting, or lab practicals, or even field trip as it is now. But we are working on it. So what we expect our students to do is that whenever they are coming back to the country, they are coming back during maybe 4 days or anything, they should let us know so that we post them to do their practicals. So any moment they are in the country, that is what I'm trying to say in essence, that they should let us know so that we make proper arrangement for the time they will be in the country so that they will be able to do their practical. But as it is now, there is no provision for international, clinical posting, field trip, and other activities. Thank you.
All right, before we take the next question, please kindly note the following handles, social media handles, as displayed on the screen. Please kindly follow these handles for legit updates, because it has come to our notice that some people are taking some of the advantages of the desperation of some of the students to create pages to some students to dupe you. These are our official handles. If you want to get legit information about ABU DLC, kindly note these handles and follow us for updates, okay? Mr. Dan, if you're with us, please go ahead and ask your question.
All right, thank you, sir. My name is Dan Daniel. I enrolled for Masters in Public Health. So I registered for 6 courses, but I've only been assigned to 2. That's my query number 1. Up to this.
Okay, Mr. Dan, it's noted, please. Okay. What's the second question?
Yes. Then the second question is that I don't know when classes will hold, because even for the course I've been assigned, we're added to a Telegram group. On that group, there's no response. People have been asking questions, when is the class going to hold? And it's as if some people are already having classes. It's like we are left in the dark. We don't have an idea when the classes will hold.
Okay, class usually hold on the LMS. Please kindly follow all notifications sent on LMS, okay? Check the notification icon. You will see the updates on our lectures as posted by tutors, okay? Akachuku, Endurance Ngozi, are you with us?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon,
Go
sir.
ahead.
Okay, asking for registered nurses during this program. At the end of this program, are we allowed to register for midwifery and public health council exam?
Okay, your coordinator will answer the question right away. Please stay with us.
All right, sir.
Can I ask my own questions? I've been on this waiting for ask my question. I know somebody has asked that question earlier on, but I still want to buttress it. Is on the issues of classes clashing. I think there should be a timetable, I think, to pinpoint all classes and when it's due. Because some of us do work. Sometimes you find yourself, you'll be at work, you get an email that's a class. So how to manage it or your work and the classes sometimes is difficult. So you find the tendency of you missing most of the classes. So I think we should really address this here.
Okay, Mr. Madu is noted. Your observation is noted, okay?
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. The question asked by Endurance. I think Endurance, right?
Yes, you said the question with regards to nursing program, that on graduation, are you to take midwifery council exam and public health? So what is expected of you is that at the end of your program, you are going to earn your degree. And the second thing is that you have to take professional qualifying council examination for public health. These are the two you are going to earn at the end of your program. So the requirement for the public health exams is that you have to graduate. You must pass all undergraduate courses before you will be eligible for public health final qualifying examination. But for midwifery, the regulatory body has not given us approval because they are the ones that are going to index our students for that exam. So that is the reason why the midwifery exams will not be taken by our students on this platform. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, we have a question. Okay.
Okay, hello.
Hello, ma. Good
Mr.
afternoon.
Hello.
Good afternoon, ma. I'm Lawrence
Okay,
Precious Onyuchi. So, ma, I'm Lawrence Precious Onyuchi from Lagos State. So
Okay, go ahead.
all right. So my question is, so I registered for my courses, and I would like to know how would I get to know when the course materials will be ready, so one can actually pick it up. That's one. Then two, ma.
Which program?
Okay, I registered for accounting, other level. Yes. So yes, I'm in Lagos. So I would like to know when, because I don't know if there's a way we can get notification when our course materials are ready, so we can actually pick them up.
For now, you have to you have to make use of the soft copy. The course materials are in soft copy. Please go to the e-library or you go to the LMS and download the soft copy of the course material, okay?
All right, ma. It's fine. All right. Thank you, ma.
All right. Emmanuel Chukwuemeka, are you with us?
Yes. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
So my question goes this way. I registered in my portal, I was given 8 courses to register. So that's supposed to be a public administration. So I registered for the 8 courses, and later on, I'm seeing that my courses are 7. So the first one is cancelled. That's supposed to be Introduction to Accounting and Financial Reporting. So
okay, who canceled it? Or you found it cancelled?
I didn't cancel it. I didn't cancel it. I saw it that way. So I noticed that
after you have registered.
Yes, I registered for it was given to me 8 courses, and I registered.
Can you see the contact numbers on the screen?
Yeah.
Can you see what we shared on the screen?
Okay, yes.
Please contact the portal manager. Please go ahead, contact the portal managers.
On Facebook?
They have contact phone numbers there. There are phone numbers.
Okay, okay. And secondly again, sir.
Okay.
Secondly again, sir. Actually, our courses are kind of clashing together the same time. So I don't know if it is possible.
That is noted. Noted. That is noted. Some people have asked the same question, and the questions have been noted.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome, sir. Can you hear me, please, in Hindan?
Yes, please. I can hear you, sir.
Go ahead, please, and talk to us.
Okay, so I'm sorry if I'm repeating this question because I didn't hear something was mentioned with regards to diaspora earlier, but network was quite funny, so I didn't get that point very well. I live in the UK majorly, and so I want to find out if exam will be online, and then for field course, due to laws governing different communities, how am I expected to do my field study if I am majorly outside the country, please?
Well, thank you very much for your question. As it is, just as you heard, our exams for those in UK or in diaspora will be taken by Proctor, that is online. So please just continue with your registration. When time comes, the guidelines and then other modalities for the examination will be issued at the center and you'll be guided appropriately.
Okay, at those that whose hands are still up and we are unable to attend to the questions presently, please kindly drop a message in the chat box, and may take advantage of our social media handles and the phone numbers shared on the screen. If you can see the screen, there are contact numbers and there are email addresses as well. The slides of this presentation will be shared to everyone. Please kindly take advantage of all the communication channels and talk to us. Send us messages, talk to us via WhatsApp, talk to us via text message and other social media handles. But for now, we are going to apologize to those whose hands were not asked to unmute. We strongly apologize. We cannot take more questions any longer because of the time allocated for this program. We thank you for joining us and giving us your attention and time. We pray that God will be with you all throughout your stay with us and throughout your study. So thank you for being with us and have a wonderful day. Thank you very much. No,